first video in Victory Point Cafe's 5 in 5 series, where we give you 5 great gaming recommendations in 5 minutes. I'm Antonio, one of the game gurus here at VPC, and this is 5 great stocking stuffer games. For this list, we were looking for small box games that are relatively inexpensive. So without further ado, here's our first game. Is a great 2-player card game that's probably best described as a mix between Ascension and Magic the Gathering. In Star Realms, you will use deck-building mechanics to increase the size and potency of your arsenal of cards by playing cards from your hand with purchasing power and then using that power to add better cards to your deck. You will, however, also play cards with attack power that can be used to attack other players' authority level. The first player to lower their opponent's authority to 0 wins. It can be played in about 15 minutes, comes in a small portable box with everything you need for a full 2-player game, and MSRPs for a very reasonable $15. Sushi Go is a great pick-and-pass game, or card drafting if you prefer, that puts players in the shoes of patrons at a Japanese restaurant sushi bar, grabbing what you can from the moving sushi boats in an effort to put together the best meal possible. This game is played over 3 brief rounds of simultaneous play from everyone at the table, helping the game feel very nicely paced for what it is, and all but eliminating player downtime. Besides a theme most everyone can get behind, one of the things Sushi Go has going for it is great art. The cards are at the same time thematic, cute, appetizing, and very easy to understand. Possibly best of all, this game would go great in just about anyone's stocking. While Sushi Go looks like a kid's game, Rhino Hero is in fact a kid's game, but one for kids of all ages. In Rhino Hero, you'll be making a tall house of cards for the titular Rhino Hero, who is actually a Rhino Meeple, to climb. On your turn, you will add new levels to the building by picking up cards and placing them on top of the tower in different specified ways. Some of the cards will even tell you to move the Rhino Meeple up the building to the level you just created, adding even more instability. The first player to use all of their cards wins, or conversely, the player to make the building fall loses. Anomie is a small box party game that relies on one core principle. Thinking is hard when you're under pressure. In this game, you'll be revealing cards and watching for symbols and staying prepared to yell out the first thing that comes in your head. And if this doesn't sound exactly like what a fairly involved and highly energetic party game should sound like to you, well, then you have weird taste. Because if you can't have fun laughing at yourself for taking way too long for thinking up the name of a breakfast cereal, any breakfast cereal, while everyone else at the table is naming presidents and historical inventors, then I just don't know what to tell you. But, as usual, any grievances you wish to raise can be placed in the comments below. Lastly, we have Hanabi, a great, easy-to-learn game that probably goes over better with non-gamers than any other entry on this list. In Hanabi, players will be managing a hand of cards that they can't see, but other players at the table can. Using the very limited amount of communication the game allows, the group has to play cards from their hand in a certain order so that they can create columns of cards of the same color in ascending order. Be careful. If you misplay the cards from your hand, though, the game timer will push your game towards a premature ending. This threat of the game ending early and not scoring all the points you can is one of Hanabi's best qualities. Rarely have I ever seen a game that so effortlessly gets players involved, and it always happens with this one. I don't think I've ever seen someone misplay a card from their hand without everyone else at the table fighting their own facial muscles to not give away the fact that that player might end the game for everyone prematurely. Well, that's it for this list, and that's it for this video. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Antonio, and once again, any grievances you have with this list, we'd be happy to have you take up in the comments below, or just come in and yell at us in person at Victory Point Cafe. Thanks a bunch. Game on.